We've made it, disc golf fans, to the final 9 of the 2023 Down East Players Cup, presented by Gatekeeper Media and powered by Basket Bashers. It's a PDGA A-Tier event that has been going on in Greenville, North Carolina for some years now, and we have been so happy to be here every single year to cover it since 2020. My name is Chris German. We have Derek Scull, co-founders, here one last time, calling the action. How you doing?
Doing great. As of right now, Grady Shue is the one to beat. Almost entirely green on his front 9, with Blake right behind him. So we're definitely within striking distance. Grady shouldn't be letting up on the gas just yet.
Yes, we're going to move into hole 10, par 4, 528 feet. Not too long in distance. It's more about your shape and staying clean. Your first shot, you just want to throw straight with a slight finish to the right. And then this second shot, you have a little bit of a low ceiling. A couple trees on the left side to contend with. You can turn it over to the right as well. And it's kind of a very gusty green based on where it is near the ball field there. So wind could come into play. Grady feeling good at this point. And with shots like that, I mean...
just dead straight.
It's
perfect landing zone. Really has nothing to worry about on his next shot. Just needs to keep his head down and keep playing his game.
I feel like a lot of people try to dissect this hole a little too much in the sense that like they try to get it too far right when all you really need to do is throw it straight. We've seen rollers on this hole, a couple different things. Like even that isn't going to be the worst for Gavin.
No, he should have wide open, just not quite as far as you'd like. But at this level of play, sometimes give or take 50 feet really doesn't mean a lot.
Great shot from Scott.
Yeah, see, this is still wide open. Should be a stock approach.
Yeah, we just have
wow. Hangs it out
low
a little
ceiling and the
further
trees come in pretty quick on that right side. We see a lot of people find those trees. But right here, you're staring right at the basket.
Wow, what a great line.
Yeah, I was about to say, he's giving that a little bit of a test.
Yeah, and I think with your approach, you definitely want to play a little shorter because of that wind that you had talked about. You don't really know what it's like because you're standing in the woods. So the less airtime you have, the less likely it is to have an adverse reaction.
Yeah, as this hole's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. We have a lot of guys right inside the bullseye, and with that putt, we should be looking at a star frame, barring anything crazy happening within 20 feet. I swear I did not know that, guys. Like, I swear, I'm sorry, Blake, that I did that. I truly thought that was a winner.
Glad to see some green back on Scott's card.
Yeah, it gets out of that hole that he was in, sitting at 1 under or 1 over. Grady, another full green scorecard there at the bottom.
All right, hole 11. Really, you just want to exit the gap, drift to the right. You're going to have here on our left quite a bit of shrubbery to deal with, so you don't want to end up over there, especially with an OB in play. You have the fence there kind of guarding the green. The green is elevated quite high as well. But essentially, this is pretty much what you're looking for. Maybe a little too far right.
No,
that shouldn't be a problem.
That's going to set up for probably a forehand approach. So if you're comfortable with the forehand, you could be just fine with that, I think. It's Gavin, man.
Finds himself similar, yeah.
Executes 2 times now. So this could be a roller from Scott. And this is tough because if it pushes to the left there, yeah, I mean, Looks like he stayed in bounds, but he's pinched over there. That's going to be a tough lie. It's going to be tough for Blake, too. That needs to hurry right. And he should have a little flex forehand, but that's not.
Didn't quite beat the corner.
Yeah, it's not what you want. This is definitely not what you want.
We saw some creativity from Paul Oman on round 1 here on this hole. He found himself too far left and utilized hole 12's fairway to get himself up and down.
Oh, so close to being great. So yeah, this is what I thought happened to Blake. Tough shot to execute there, especially with the fence. As you were right, Grady did go too far. He went so far that he doesn't even have the forehand route.
I think a sweeping backhand turnover would be is a great play, though, barring that low ceiling there. But something with a little finesse that will just land flat, because you want to land on the upward slope or to the top.
Oh, that gets smacked down right before it gets over the fence. And being up against that fence is pretty tricky. You don't really have a good putt unless you're like a tall individual like Scott.
Mm-hmm.
So Grady's going to mark his second par of the round through 11 holes.
Oh, I thought that was in.
Good bid from Gavin, and yeah, it's very tricky with that fence. Poland had a little bit of a kick to the left, but should not be an issue. Easy par save for him. And the rest should be pretty traditional cleanups. Yeah, I love this hole. It's definitely a great 2-shot hole. All about placement on that first shot. Gives you a good look for your second. So we're going to move into hole 12, another one of my favorite holes. The only par 5 on the course, 868 feet. Don't let that deceive you. This is a very tricky par 5. We have OB all down the left there. You can see the trees there with the left OB all the way down to the left here. And then we also have a dogleg right into the green. Your third shot, you want to get somewhere around here and have a pretty straightforward fourth shot. A lot of people can get aggressive and end up in all those trees that you see there guarding the green. So you do not want to end up right on your third shot. This first shot, you just want to throw it straight with a little bit of finish to the right. Just like that. That is perfect from Grady. And I like the backhand with just a slight flip with like a mid-range or something, where this forehand I think can push too far right pretty quickly, especially with the other tee pad and bench being there. For some reason, I find that people, when they go forehand, usually end up near that, which could pose an issue for footing and your lie.
Yeah, I mean, too far right there from your drive, and you're going to be pretty severely pinched off.
Scott, not a bad spot to be. Gets caught up against some trees. It's going to be a tricky third shot. Wow, Grady got really close to the OB.
Oh, just needed to push that flex a little more, and that would have been right in the mouth.
Wow, that was a really good roll for him. Rolling left, opened up that fairway for his third shot. If not, he was going to be having to get tricky with those trees, and it's very, very tough there. There is OB long against that tree line over there, so it does come up pretty quick.
Oh, wow.
Gavin penetrates the wood line and should be within circle 2.
Yeah, unless that angle was a little deceiving, he might have been a little too far right.
Grady very grateful that he pushed out to the left after that tree kick. Really opened him up to be able to get up and down for birdie.
This is a beautiful shot.
These guys making the hole 12 par 5 look pretty easy.
Wow, talk about control here on this turnover from Scott as well. I mean, even getting hung up on that tree didn't get quite enough distance, which would have been kind of all the difference there. And it looks like Gavin kind of nestled perfectly there in the mouth.
Yeah, such an easy birdie to be taking, especially with this being like a bowl. You just throw it down into there and you have yourself a guaranteed tap in.
All right,
Good bounce back from Scott. They're taking the double on hole 11. Another tap in for Grady.
All right, hole 13, another one of my favorite holes as well. 513-foot par 4. You got options. The hyzer flip right down the gut, or a forehand slight flex will get you there as well. But if you're feeling frisky, you have a hyzer route on the right as well, both funneling to that mouth that's exiting the woods. So really anywhere near the opening is money.
Yeah, not too much distance here. It's really just getting out of this gap, getting out of these woods in one piece is really all you're looking to do. There is some trouble to the left. You can find OB. It's happened in the past. We don't see it too often. We usually see Scott go the right line here. That's kind of been his thing throughout all these years. And I'm surprised more people don't take that line because it's just a
I
hyzer,
like it.
And it puts you right to the mouth of the wood line.
Yeah, it's just that if you have any type of slip up and you're off your line, it's much harder of a scramble. So it's really about your percentages.
Good point there. Yeah, you can hit early on this left side and still get all the way down with it. The distance, still be able to get down for your birdie, where if you kick on the right side, birdie's basically out of play.
Don't get me wrong. I love a risky play every now and again.
And that's exactly what you want to do. I feel like we need to make a compilation of how to play disc golf and just show Grady all day because he's putting together a great showing. That's another birdie.
Yeah, just nestled right up there.
As Blake's only 2 off, so not out of this yet. He's going to need to steal
Oh!
I was just about to say he's going to need to steal some strokes, and that would have done it.
Wow.
We see Scott in a perfect spot after taking that right line.
Yeah, it gives him the option of down tempo something, so you're not overthrowing, you're not overexerting.
Probably left it a little farther than he wanted, but still should not have a problem. Everyone else being well inside the circle or bullseye.
All right, 2 in a row for Scott.
And at this point, Scott's just looking for a top 10, maybe a top 5. Another birdie for Grady. That's going to put him in double digits. And if you're getting a double digits here at West Meadowbrook, I would say that's a pretty good round you're putting together. So we're moving to hole 14, par 3, 413 feet. We have a low ceiling to contend with. A lot of these guys are probably going to throw a straight shot with an overstable disc and anticipate a good flare to the left. You can hug the right side if you want. As Grady goes more with a flip up.
And the majority of our card on round 1 did find themselves over there on the right-hand side.
Yeah, this is a tricky one to like kind of park, I would say. Like, there's not anything crazy going on. It's just the way the hole's shaped. And hopefully, because I said that, Grady's going to park it now. He's up there.
I mean, beating the trees and finishing left, anytime you're doing that like this.
This looks great. That's perfect.
It looks like it might have gotten stopped up. I still don't think it matters.
Scott went all the way out to the left there. Oh, yeah. Got caught up. Well, looks like everyone got caught up.
Oh, man. I wanted that to happen so bad.
Par is good here, though. I don't think a lot of the field is taking birdies, so kind of take your par and move on type of hole. And with a couple cleanups, we're getting close to the end with only a couple holes left. Just 2 strokes between the two.
Hole 15, 551-foot par 4. You got a pretty tight gap, about 50 or so feet off the tee. And then you really just want to kind of play to the path, let it swing to the left. Elevated basket.
Yeah, a couple different lines off the tee you can take here. Most people will probably go the traditional straight gap, but there's also this left gap that Blake is taking. So he gets a good tree kick. That kicks him pretty far down there. I would say this is the more traditional route.
Yeah, forced flex. Maybe a little too low, but perfect line. Oh, wow.
Wow, luck box there from Grady. Still gives him contention to be able to get a birdie instead of getting caught up with one of the first available.
Oh. It's the last tree, dead center.
This needs to get
push
quick.
Yep.
Wow.
Great recovery.
Yeah, this is the type of course where none of these holes are too long. So, I mean, these guys hit something early and still find themselves pretty easily to get the birdie. Similar to like hole 13.
Wow.
It's these guys just making it look very easy. Grady, the only one that has to do something sneaky and
leaves himself pretty short.
All right, there's 1 stroke for Blake. As it got even closer. Only 1 stroke going into these final 3 holes. right, home stretch, hole 16, 288-foot par 3. We have a Mando that you have to miss there on the left. Keep it right. Overall, I would say this is a very scoreable hole and one you want to get coming down the stretch. Just a pretty straight shot and just kind of let it finish there to the left. Just like that. Might be a little bit to the right, but that's exactly what you want to do. It's looking a little better from Scott. Yeah. I should have a little bit more movement at the end of the flight.
Gavin going too wide, pushing into that tree line there. That should do the trick as well.
Yeah, it looks good from Grady. Hopefully it's skipped up far enough. Should.
Looks like most
down
did.
There.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too quick, Scott. Too quick.
Big putt for Grady. Probably the biggest one he's had all round, given the circumstances. You can tell taking his time.
Oh, man.
Oh. Man, all that prep and all that thinking, sometimes too much. So really you got to find a balance between what Scott and Grady did there. Or just put it under the basket like Blake. And
now we have a ball game.
Yeah, Blake, low-key 9 under. I mean, he's kind of getting overshadowed by Grady's play here, but he's not short of that by any means. He's putting together a very, very solid round.
Yeah, hole 17, par 3, 371 feet. You just want to beat the early trees, finish to the right. Lots of OB behind, very, very short there after the pin. But not too long for these folks. The traditional route there is just this right side.
Yeah, it seems like over the years the right side has opened up a little bit, allowing you to kind of take that gap where before everyone would go to the left of this tree and try to get something to finish right. And it seems like, I don't know if they lost a couple trees or cleared it out a little bit, but we've been seeing a lot more people take that right side now. Or this is a little more traditional. Great shot there from Gavin. He should be well inside the circle. Grady, bottom of the box. This might have been the first time I've seen him at the bottom.
He lets that one go.
Blake unable to capitalize. That would have been a big birdie to grab. Scott kissing chains. Yeah, Gavin, I thought he got through these trees, but doesn't matter. He can putt through them. It's Gavin now sitting at 20 under. Very solid round. Looking like he should be able to secure up a podium finish. Wait, that was Grady's drive?
I thought we may have just missed a shot. I am in disbelief.
Yeah.
It must have been the perfect tree kick.
Yeah, or it had so much bite at the end that it came back. That is wild. That was a big turn of events there. That gives Grady the lead going into this final hole, hole 18. Anything can happen here. We have OB to the right, kind of where the playground is. The path rings around. OB right is really the only danger you have to look out for.
Heard a little bit of a negative reaction there from Gavin. However, I mean, could be far worse.
And Grady, if he puts this close and under the basket,
Oh,
you could say it's his.
he's flirting with those trees a lot.
Yeah, he's lucky that kind of kept him in bounds. That could have been catastrophic for him. As Blake now needs to put this well inside the circle, or even throw an ace, walk-off ace. Steady's going to flirt with that OB. It's going to come back. This should be a good shot.
And so this is Blake's opportunity to get in that double-digit mark for his round as well.
And Scott, he's going to finish his round with a great shot, putting him well inside the circle. And Grady, this is for the win. About 45 feet. Maybe 50.
Oh, yeah. All right. A lot of pressure. Wow. He took his time this time, and it seemed to work out for him just fine.
Wow, what a clutch putt. He can exhale. Wow, what an entertaining round of golf from Grady and a well-deserved win. Man, what a putt. I mean, Blake is right there. That would have put us into a playoff. And every year, this event just always has such close scoring coming down to the end. It's always so fun to watch. Blake with an amazing round, 10 under. Can't scoff at that. He put together a great tournament. Just hole 17, that one drive from Grady.
Let's not forget about Scott's CTP for this, too, for the card.
Yep.
Yeah, Scott 2 under. Great comeback.
The winner of the
Grady.
2023 Down East Players Cup MPO Division, Grady Shue.
Yeah, hoist that over your head.
Yeah, thanks to all the tournament staff. Thanks, next year.
Good to see Grady on the leaderboard there to take the win. If you haven't caught the FBO coverage, make sure you check that out and go over to our channel and Heiser Media to see which lady took that down. But really, this was Grady's round. It was his day. He put it together. A lot of great competition that he beat out. And again, just awesome to see him on the leaderboard after having a child, taking some time away, moving, and playing well here in North Carolina.
Yeah, it's always good to perform well in your home state, and I'm really glad that we were able to see it unfold. Thanks again for tuning in, folks, and we will see you next time.